Okay, hey collective. I hope you've been looking good, feeling good, smelling good, eating good, drinking good, thinking good thoughts, having a good time, sharing good energy in good places with good people, doing good things. So the first reading that I'm gonna do, because I've been writing down my downloads, so I can like separate the readings and hopefully get more information out. But this title or this one's going to be on the download that I had, that they're sending an energy of struggle, right? Because when you're when you're awaiting a great deal of wonderful things to come to you, you begin to get excited. And they want you to mistake the energy of excitement for anxiety, which is the same thing that they did last time that caused you, to not be able to really focus, is what I'm understanding. Like, they want you to second guess or doubt yourself, procrastinate in any way. Should I go to the grocery store before this or after kind of energy? Like, go before or after I get gas? Clearly go before, so that way you don't have to stop again. But anyway, it's also one of those things where it's like you sit down and you wait and you figure it out, So these are minimal things, right? When you're grounded. So when you're not grounded, they become bigger things. You get really confused about, what you're doing, where you're going, and you feel like you need more clarity, or, again, the procrastination, like, well, I'm going to wait until, this or tomorrow kind of energy for things. They want you to also forget yourself and go float on a cloud and la-di-da-di-da, like, forget that you have a purpose here, forget that you have things to do. They just want you to kind of like disappear into your own world, so much so that you never show up in the real world ever again. I know, Delulu. Well, that's going to be a separate reading. I'm going to do an entirely separate reading on helping these people to see their own psychoses and like their mental disabilities or incapabilities. So one of the things I want to make sure you know is that the new energy erases the old. So just think back to when you exited a job and you may not have, agreed or didn't like or whatever, or everything was fine and you're looking forward to the new position. It's always that new erases the old. Same with relationships. The breakup with so-and-so was so hard until I met so-and-so and forgot all about so-and-so, right? And that's where you are, and that's what they know, and that's why they're sending this energy. I think it's more so because people have realized that they can manipulate things when they do this, or that they can possibly manipulate things, Again, some people may be doing this without knowing. They may just be calling, your phone nonstop. They may just be obsessively thinking about you and, masturbating to you. But they know what they're doing. And that's what makes it wrong. The fact that they know they should move on, they know they should find other things. It's that delusion in the brain that's causing them to have mental illness. And they don't want to believe that. So that's their problem, right? No, maybe you even had some energy of like where you used to recycle partners that you used to sleep with or something like that. Like there's some recycling energy here that I noticed as well in this download. And you might you might recycle like these 2 or 3, I don't know. This has nothing to do with me. And then you might, invite someone new onto the scene or meet someone new to jump into your mix or whatever, right? And you can tell that it does work, like it does help. Like they say that one little saying where it's like, the best way to get over somebody is to get under somebody else, or so on and so forth. It's like you can tell that works, but only to an extent, right? And then you also have to, But I feel there's an energy, because the next note down there was like, there's this energy of like, you don't even want to go try somewhere else. You want to go try where you know that it has the most potential to be rewarding, okay? So again, that's why they send this energy, right? I want you to think you're anxious because I'm anxious as hell. I can't sleep at night. I'm torn up inside. I'm crying all the time. I'm drunk and yelling at my phone when I'm watching stuff that says that you're this or you're that, or an old memory came up, or, whereas you, on the other hand, are in this energy of, like, for instance, I went yesterday to the store. As I was going into the checkout line, the gentleman that came in, I want to say bothered me, which let me to know, like, you're going to have irritations from your partner, but they'll just be things that just float and fly away, right? But the person that helped me had the first name of my divine masculine, and then the person that said goodbye to me on my way out had the last name of my divine masculine on their name tag. The other person that I spoke with and interacted with in the store, they did not have their name tag exposed enough for me to be able to see it. And I just thought that that was hilarious, because the first person was his first name, and it was just kind of like, and I think that maybe a part of that you're noticing into the dynamics too. It's like divine feminine, maybe more asked to like sit back, like that whole sit back, sit down. You're not used to somebody telling you what to do, which I think is going to actually make things easier for you, because then you don't, I mean, there's less to think about, right? You ever see those girlfriends who are just kind of like da, 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 holding their boyfriend's hand, and he's just guiding her everywhere, and he's seeing everything that's going on around, and she's just looking at, you know, this store and that balloon. It's that kind of energy. So indeed, it's going to work, right? The things that they're going to send are going to work, but you're going to be, you know, in the clouds with your person when you think about your person. And I'm also, well, we'll get into that into a different reading too. Okay. So they want you to second guess yourself. They want you to forget. Actually, I'll just finish reading all of this, and then you can, you know, pick and choose whatever you decide works best for you. So that's one of the things that's happened. Actually, this is a separate reading. Okay. All right, let's go ahead. Let's just try to find out who it actually is. Let's look at that. Like, who is this sending this energy? What can we know about the people that are sending this energy out? Let's look into that. Who are the energies sending this to the collective? Or what are they utilizing to do so? Okay. Who are they using? What are they trying to do? Let's see. Okay. They're using this coach energy, so whomever, maybe someone's going back to someone who coached them on something. But I'm finding that I'm getting the energy like after this person, whomever this coach is that they went to, after investigating whatever it is that they were helping them with, like that they were coaching them on, they realized that this person wasn't upfront, so they're not guiding them anymore. It's like, oh yeah, like what I found out didn't, you know, what you said didn't pan out to be true, is what I'm getting here about this revolutionist energy. And so that's the person, like whomever it is that went back to a coach energy. This person may be caught up in a lot of betrayals at this point. They are still in this energy of like, there's that addiction. They're going to debt a lot right now, maybe even have lost their job and things like that. They're still trying to speculate, you know, that they have an opportunity to try and take a risk in some way. But I'm getting like they're not getting any guidance. Nobody's helping them. Nobody wants to deal with them. Yeah, people are just trying to like avoid them at all costs. They're trying to come in too, like seeming as though like whomever they talk to or whenever they do try to, you know, get in touch with someone to try to help them feel better, it's making them sick to their stomach. That's why they're drinking so much. But then maybe that's a part of it too. Again, people can smell desperation. Tell us more. What has this person done in the past so we can know? What is this person? Whoa, a lot. Okay, maybe they paid people. Yep. So I'm getting in heavy energy of they paid people to do things like vandalism, you know, to follow you. If you work at a certain place and they know your hours, they may have had like, you know, some random homeless person that they paid to come and like follow you out to your car, or some weird energy even. This is ridiculous. They even wrote your friend. Oh gosh. They even went ahead and like maybe contacted someone that they had work. Again, this is a different person that they have worked with. Maybe this person is a barber. So they contacted some barber energy that also knows about the truth, thinking that they didn't. And they might have reached out trying to say, oh, well, you know, no, that's not true because of this and this and this and this. But that person, like, oh no, we're still friends. Maybe they're saying they're still cool with you, collective, and you're not. Yeah. Or trying to maybe explain like, oh, don't worry, I can get back to be friends with this person. I can get back, in their goodness. I just need you to help me with this one more, animal sacrifice or ritual. We just need to do this one more time. Yeah, we just need to do this one more time to really get it in there, to really nudge it in edgewise or some garbage. Yeah, I looked it up and I saw and I know that, like, what was that? That was another download I got. Like, somebody's got another master plan, and yeah, that's a part of it too. So there's like some other energy. I don't know if it's a copycat, which copycat it is, etc., etc. But there's a copycat out there who whoever this copycat is has an ID with your name, but their face. But they have failed to realize that whatever they're attempting to pull off, like by using your identity or for faking or pretending like it was you, there are cameras there. There are cameras where the person went to get the ID, 11:11 on the clock, and there are cameras. There was something else. There's a whole download. Let me see. I probably did put it in this phone. Let me look really quick. Okay, so this person has an ID. Maybe I'll name this when they're still talking about you, but they need to be discussing whether or not they're going to smile in the mugshots, because these people are being investigated. Like, they're doing spell work and they're doing criminal work, enlisting people to do criminal things, like just go up to her and stab her, and they'll, that's what they told the homeless person to do, like, just go up to her and stab her, or go up to him and stab him. That's the kind of things that they're out there doing. These people have really lost touch with reality, in the fact that they are so desperate that it's just getting completely sloppy. There are too many people that know stuff. There are too many people that have identified things. There are too many people that are being questioned, and so on and so forth. But, people that they buy the animals from are being questioned even. So there's cameras in their market or something like that. Anyway, or farm, up on their farm. Yeah, they keep cameras on the farm where you go get these animals at, because they want to make sure nobody comes in to steal. They want to make sure, like, if a chicken's missing, if they don't have as many chickens, if it was somebody that actually took it, or if it was like a wolf or coyote. I don't know where this is, but and maybe the same place where they get the animals from is the same place where they may do some of the rituals too. Like, you can rent out the space or something like that. I don't know, but anyway. But what I understand too is, like, there's also some issues around, like, if you know of any, or you feel as though there may have been a will that you were named in, or some type of money or something that you are entitled to, that people are either utilizing by corruption or trying to get a hold of by corruption. These things will be revealed too, because I'm understanding that maybe there's like a new marriage license, but the person who applied for the license is the person who has the ID in your name. So that's also a problem, because there are definitely cameras in courthouses and stuff like that. Here's the other thing too. They believe that you don't have a will and testament. So, and some of you don't. And the money that you have, if anything happens to you, will go intestate. It's called intestate. It means it belongs in the hands of the state. And that's exactly where it goes. And I don't think there's a lot you can do to get that back. However, what they may have not known, or they're going to know now, is that there was a will that you put into place. There is a will, and someone was mailed a copy of it, and someone actually has another copy. So there are two people with copies of this will. In addition to that, it was all completely verified and signed in an actual court. So there are cameras in every court, and the notary that you utilize was a notary within a court. These individuals have explicit instructions to not give out any, like, it was a one and done. It was like, this is the purpose, and this is what I need you to do, and that's it, and that's all. And it was done. Right under the nose, maybe even, of these people that stalk and watch you, because you're smarter than them. But they act like, and they also act like you made, all this attention come to them, and them getting in trouble with the law, and this and that and the other, and it's like, did you think that doing criminal things wouldn't get you caught up with the law? The collective doesn't have anything to do with the choices that you make in your head. And I think that's where people keep trying to, like, place blame, like, oh, I was misled. You allowed yourself to be misled. I chose the wrong person to marry. Do I get to blame the fact that they were a liar and a cheater on everything? Or do I get to take ownership of the fact that I chose the wrong person? I could do both, right? But which one helps me most? That's what people keep forgetting. It's like there's this whole energy of like placing blame. That should probably be a demonic entity too, if it's not. But anyway. Okay, so what else? What irritates me, the stupidity of people and the I just don't understand where this energy comes from when you can have everything that you want on your own. But anyway, so they act like you made the block hot when really it was them. You're not even on the block. It literally says that here. You're not even on the block. You wasn't on the block. You haven't been on the block. You don't know where the block at. That's part of people's problem, is that you didn't grow up on the block with them. That's why they're trying to put you in the mix. That's why they feel some kind of way about you. Collective didn't have to grow up like I did. You don't know what the collective had to grow up like. Weren't there people living in mansions getting totally brutalized by their families? And you think that it's easier for that person versus you, who maybe grew up in the hood, saw people getting murdered. Why do you take precedence over them? Especially since you're still doing stuff. You done went through, whoever these people are, they went through all their trauma. They are not experiencing the trauma, but they want to keep imposing trauma on you because you healed from it after you experienced it. It's almost like people who don't understand that, like, oh, after you get out of a relationship, yeah, you don't go get into another one. You stay single. Let yourself air out. Like your body got to air out, number one. Number two, your mind, your attitude, your heart, your whole psyche, everything got to air out. It's not good to jump from relationship to relationship to relationship because you don't even know who you are outside of that last relationship yet, enough to even be in another relationship. That's where a lot of people get it wrong. I don't know who this is for, but I'm glad you're getting it. Even if you don't agree with it, at least it gets to your head. But yeah, collective wasn't even on the block. It's like, how can you blame someone for getting caught up in a scheme that they didn't, a scheme against them? Well, if collective hadn't always been so goody two-shoes. What? That was a different download. There's some other things that are coming up for some individuals. I don't know. There's some past unalivings from between 2000. Well, in 2000 is what I've got. There was one that took place in 2000 and then one that took place, or some, I don't know, between 1984 and 1986. So those things are coming to the surface too. Just because of the length of the duration of things and how far they've had to go back. For some of the collective, things like this have been going on since they were like 9 months to a year old. You know, they've been making all of these, assumptions and testing all of these things on you, like, oh, let's throw them down the stairs and see if they survive. And you survive. And then they're like, oh, so it's real. And then they go to continue to show other people in different ways. Like, oh, let me show you. And this is how we can use them because of this. That's what's been going on. So don't let anybody else try to tell you who is or who isn't coming after you. You know what you feel based on your own intuition. And until someone has walked in your shoes, they are not allowed, nor could they ever be able to tell you who is after you, who's doing what to you, when, where, why, or how, when they might not even know who's doing things to them yet. Okay? So no one knows your life, no one knows your story but you, because you lived it. And we're not here to be, narrating our lives, right? We're here to be living them. That's also a part that people get caught up in too. Like, I got to narrate this story. I got to get this story out. Why don't you worry about your actual positioning for the long term so that you can get to the point to where you see yourself actually sitting down and writing? Because that's maybe the story for somebody. Somebody may be doing, readings on the collective, but they really feel like they should be writing a book about their experience. Some people are like, oh, okay, I'm doing these readings, but I really want to focus on music. So in some way, shape, or form, people are limiting themselves. All right, what's the next one? What I'm getting is the go back. Like, some people thought that they were like, a double team tap happening, or like a tag team, or like this happened and this happened. Like it somehow, like maybe either one group and then another group started. But what they don't realize is this has been going on for a very long time by multiple groups for multiple different reasons. It's not just the family and the this and the that. It's like the more people that we can get involved in taking this person out or making this person, want to disappear, the better, because then it becomes viable. If everybody has a really big reason to not want this person around, then it makes our job easier. That's how they influenced people. That's probably why they got these influences and these influencers and little player energies involved. Because people who are players, they sit and they, what do? They pillow talk, point you out to people to get them to start to look at you negatively, right? And they, for some reason, don't think that you know. Yeah. For some reason, they want to continue to challenge you. They want to continue to challenge you and see if you're really a boss. See if you really are everything that you say you are. But you've already shown that. That's what they went after the first time, right? Throw the baby down the stairs. Oh, the baby didn't. Okay, well, let's see how we can get something, just constantly trying, right? There's this boss energy also that sees you and like, I don't know, sees what you're saying or something like that. Because I get this, because that was that, oh, it's still here. Okay, so, or this is you, right? You're very much so, or someone else is very much so involved in seeking out this adventure, like finding out more, knowing more about this adventure that people took. And, the courage that you had to embody to embrace or, meet the challenge and meet your goals, right? I feel like this person may have a lot of affinity towards you from a place of, because you know how to do things, like how to be in this repairman energy, how to restore, restart, and renovate. And that's not something that a lot of people can do when they face really, really bad moments in their life where things are being said or where things are being done or so on and so forth. You know what I mean? It's kind of like sometimes you may be involved in things that you didn't know would be used against you later. Like for some people, when your ex tries to send out, revenge, tape about you, it's like, we did this in the intimacy of our own space together, and then you decide to use that against me. Because most people who, that was a part of a download too. Because most people, yeah, that's something I think this gang energy can't get with. That's what I just heard here. This gang is not working with them either when it comes to respect to some animal shaman, but that may be something that they're going to lie to this barber person to say, or this person who's helping them, or that they're asking to help. They're going to be like, oh, no. The gang, the gang or the group or whatever, but I think it's called a gang. The gang is in on it and they're down with it and blah, 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 because they want in on this money or something that I'm hearing. But that's not true. That gang is not involved. Yeah, that gang is like, nah, this is not the kind of criminal activity that we pursue. They know how to make their money and they haven't made any money in this scenario. So they're not, they're like, yeah, this isn't put together right. They know, and they're just not going to get involved. They don't care what they don't care. They're not involved. There may be two different gangs or groups that are not involved. The gangs see them as like somebody who's drunk all the time, so they know that they can't depend on this person. That's what I just saw, the drunkard card. So the gang knows that they're drunk. Yeah. Yeah, they're not going to be able to create any types of illusions here is what I'm seeing. It's like, yeah, especially since whoever this is that like went and found out, I don't know if this is this barber energy or who, but somebody went and found out, yeah, that they were swindled by this drunkard. So they're not going to be involved. They're not going to get involved with that anymore. Maybe even this chef is, I don't know. Let's see. I don't know if this chef is on board. Let's see. Let's take out the swindler. Oh, wow. The drunkard is right under it. Okay, so the swindler is the one that was going out on his own. This must be like the, maybe it's a Tinder swindler type energy. The person that would get this is the person that would get the people to do through having intercourse with them or pillow talking, whatever, that's that person. The drunkard is the one who they kept working with to kind of consult and see about, what was going on with you. And the guide, the one that's been trying to coach everybody or like tell them what you've been up to, this like monitoring spirit energy, maybe a neighbor, maybe a coworker, whatever, maybe a fake best friend, I don't know. But that's this chef energy. This is the person that's trying to cook this plan up right now. Okay, so these three people are working together to try to cook up this plan or something right now. They may be looking to get someone who's in the music industry or musician involved in this as well. Let me find that. I hear something like they're trying to get the band or the boys all back together again or the group back together again or some garbage, which is literally going to leave them into a whole different place right now because spirit isn't in the energy of interventions, which is the word I couldn't remember for the longest because spirit's like, we're not doing those anymore. So with people who have these issues like alcoholism, etc., they're going to be let to go down. Like some of these people aren't even aware that they have problems. I think that's for the people that were working with this group, that are the ones that are drinking and still doing spell work or something like that. That was the other download I can't imagine going into my kitchen and cooking up a bunch of stuff and looking at some words and saying them and doing all this weird stuff. And it would like to make something occur in someone else's life or something like that. Like when I started to dive in, like the actions, like if someone is literally out there doing spell work, that just, I really can't. I feel like magic is a totally different animal. But this person may be the sauerkraut sandy energy that I am getting. It's like this sour broth, like she smells sour too. She's got a lot of different sour phases too in her life right now. And what a lot of people fail to realize too is that like if your parents had healed, then you wouldn't need to because you'd be in an environment where they could foster good and healthy choices for you, and with you and so on and so forth. Oh, and then there's extended, I'm calling them now extended people because they're not you and you don't consider them, to be, I don't know, they're related to you, I guess we could say. But I've decided to call them members of your planetary conception unit, your PCU, planetary conception unit, the birthies. They are here. The reason why they're even considered family is because they're here to heal the same wounds as you. That's the only thing that creates what this planetary conception unit. And that's why people keep saying, oh, your family could, it could be someone who's different because it comes from the heart. People who share the same type of heart energy, but some people's heart develops more because they heal, right? Some don't. Some of them are, this is that demon of alcoholism. Yeah, some of those people are battling alcoholism, but they're not even aware that they have a problem right now, or maybe they've always been in denial about that or something is what I'm hearing here. And whoever this chef guide energy is, this person's issue is that they can't, this person can't get any weight off of them? I didn't know that was going to be there for this person. Can't get any weight off of themselves, like physically and emotionally and mentally. So that's why they're trying to make this additional attempt. The road to inner peace for whoever this chef guide energy is, it's too hard. They were working on peace and it got too hard. And they went right back into their old ways. And so then now they're trying to work on love. And that's going to get too hard because every time this person meets someone that doesn't want to be on board with what they're talking about, what they're trying to do, they go right back to their manipulative ways and negative thinking and so on and so forth. So that's why nothing really works for this person, not their efforts that they've made, nor the things that they're trying to do. Like this person could go walking every day and ain't none of the weight coming off. not a piece. Yeah. There's also this energy of people wanting to take credit. Here's the thing. I don't care if you gave the person a whole blueprint, the idea, the plan, told them where to go to find the employees, etc., 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 how to set up payroll, direct deposit, all of that. I don't care what you showed a person. They have to make the effort to actually make it happen. Just like we say, you can't help somebody through their healing. You can't help somebody through their healing. A part of the healing process is being able to create and manifest and have business or whatever you want, commerce in some way, shape, or form. And the difficulty with most people is that they refuse the opportunities and gifts that are given to them. So like the whole idea of somebody trying to take credit for something that someone else did or is doing. How, Sway, when you would have to be able to think for them to make them choose whatever it is they're choosing? You can't even make your person choose you. Ooh, for somebody. How you gonna make a whole another person that don't have no connection with you, don't want no connection with you, so on and so forth? It's just like someone coming and saying, well, I taught them everything they know in this industry. Okay. They seem to learn very quickly, right? They did very well with whatever it is that you taught them, and then they went on to excel in that beyond you. That's why you can't take credit for someone's success, because if their success exceeds yours, you have no claim and ownership to that. If they're still down here, you can be like, yeah, I've been teaching this person, I've been mentoring this person, and they're doing really well, under my guise. If they shot up through the roof beyond you, has nothing to do with you. They did something you couldn't even do with the information that you gave them. That's why you had to pass it on. That's why you had to say, oh, this is a good business. That's like somebody saying, oh, you would be a really good lawyer because you always, make really good points and da-da-da-da-da. And then you go to law school and you do it. You had to go through law school. Can't take credit for nothing nobody else did, you dummy. You start taking credit for the dumb stuff you done did. Start taking credit for the stuff that you actually did. That was wrong, that was negative, that was nasty, that was mean, that was absurd. Start taking credit for that. Since it doesn't matter and there's no good and there's no bad, that's another part of this reading too. It's up to each individual to choose the right gifts and opportunities. If they didn't choose the right ones and you did, that's your prize, right? Okay. Most of this is other people's insecurities too. Like, oh, this person didn't grow up in the hood like we did. We already went through that, right? Still talking about you, but they need to discuss whether or not they're going to all smile in their mugshots, or 3 of them are and the other 17 aren't. I don't know. There's some energy too about like you are also one of those people who understands that like people say no to things that they can't afford, and you're comfortable with saying no to these people. They were comfortable saying no to you when they couldn't afford to invest back into you what you were able to give them. Used to continue to give, and now that they're saying, oh, well, I want to come back and try and invest in you now. No. I can't afford the wait. I can't afford to teach you. I can't afford to help you learn how to think differently. I can't afford it. I can't afford to have a back and forth with you. It weighs too heavy. It's too expensive for my body. I cannot afford it. Spiritually, I cannot afford to get into arguments. You know why? They don't feel good. And that's all the collective is going off. And they're not saying this is right or this is wrong. They're just saying they don't feel good doing the same stuff that you feel good doing. You feel good being with a lot of different people. They don't feel good being with a lot of different people. And that's why they choose not to. They don't feel like it makes them superior. It's just not something that feels good to them. Accept that. They don't care about what you do. At all. Ever. These are the stupidest things that come up in these downloads. And it's like, who in the hell thinks this stupid stuff? Oh my gosh. Yeah, that part about the will and stuff, it's like if you knew that you had money, or you knew that you had access to any money, or you thought that you potentially had access to any money, you completed that will in another state. They may all try to look it up too, but I don't think they're going to find it, because it was kind of something like that was done in a closed circuit. You know what I mean? Because there was, I don't know, maybe there was, I don't know. Can you go to the police station and get something that's like makes your information unavailable in a certain sense? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe these people even get access to like your credit. Like they get access to, not the people that are trying to take from you, the people that you provided this will to is what I'm getting. Like they also have access to your credit. So if they see, because they can get your, like there's a monthly something that they get a ping for, and that lets them know like you're good. Because if they see anything abnormal, then they know something's wrong. I don't know. Are there systems? I don't know, because I know there's a lot of different systems like Nexus, Lexus, and Intellius, and all these different things that can get access to a lot of different systems and information and stuff. So there may be something special that was paid for or something with respect to like a notification of, you know, of National Theft Records. Or maybe they have someone that goes in once a month or once a week or something like that and runs your name. I don't know. Someone that's in law enforcement, maybe the person involved that did this for you is in law enforcement. I don't know. Anyway, maybe because whoever this is either knows or has some knowledge of some past unalivings from the 2000 or from 1984 to 1986 too, or maybe that's who's being investigated or that they're talking to. Okay, they're talking to someone there. So no interventions. Sauerkraut Sandy. Yeah. This is the thing too. It's like there's this saying, right? Many are called, but the chosen ones are few. And I've always tried to examine that because I feel like everything is a little bit of a parable, right? Now, everyone is called to perform as a chosen one, but few actually end up leading the brigade and saying, well, here, this is how we do it. This is what we need to do. Because often when people try to lead that brigade, they're being told that they don't know. They're wrong. We're right kind of energy. And then there's also this talk of like, oh, the 1%ers. Have the 1%ers actually healed? Because we don't know what goes on in these big houses. These people can pay for every bit of information not to be put out anywhere for anybody to know. I don't think anybody's above healing. Being healed from things, even if it's just, you know, the smallest little bit of road rage or whatever it is. But as we can see, there's not a lot of people that believe in this mindset of doing well and doing good towards others. Yeah. Oh, this is what I wrote about, like the people that are actually doing like spell work, like taking spells from books. Who really just don't understand the full blossoming of magic, and that's why their stuff doesn't work really well. But doing actual spells with words from a book, they won't work for you if magic is what you cook. Divine beings, magic is dancing. Divine beings, magic is singing, is sitting out in the sun, sunbathing. All these natural things, right? That these people would never really understand, you know? They could never grasp the concept of healing or, you know, real love that doesn't involve any manipulation. Okay, I think that's it for this one. Yeah. Practice makes peculiarly awesome. Practice makes peculiarly awesome. That is a very difficult, peculiar, just forget it. Peculiarly. I have to check on those syllables. Peculiarly. Anyway, I hope that this has been peculiarly awesome for you. I'll catch you on the next one. Later.